Empath chosen ones, stop ignoring your sensitivity. It's your huge gem. There is a wild, ancient brilliance inside you, something sacred, something soft, something that sees what others miss and feels what others avoid. You've been told your whole life that you're too much, too emotional, too sensitive, that you need to toughen up, grow thicker skin, stop crying, stop caring so much. But what if I told you something radically different? What if I told you that your sensitivity is not your flaw, it's your genius? It's not the thing that makes you weak, it's the very thing that makes you powerful beyond imagination. You are not just a sensitive person, you are an empath. And even more, you are one of the chosen ones born into this time, on this earth, for a reason that most people will never fully understand. Let that truth sink in. Let it ripple through your chest. Feel it. You are not broken. You are not here by accident. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with the way you feel the world. The world as we know it is noisy, fast, chaotic, and disconnected. People have forgotten how to feel. They've forgotten how to listen to the subtle, the invisible, the sacred. But you haven't. You were born with an inner radar, a living compass that picks up on vibrations, energy, moods, and undercurrents long before anything is said or done. And because of that, life has probably felt overwhelming, exhausting, and often too much to bear. You've been absorbing pain that doesn't belong to you. You've been carrying emotions that aren't yours. You've been showing up for people who never show up for you. And somewhere along the way, you began to believe that your depth was a problem.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
But let me remind you, your soul didn't come here to fit in. You didn't incarnate to be numb, to be shallow, or to blend in with the noise. You came here to awaken people. You came here to feel what others refuse to feel. You came here to bring light into the places that have been dark for too long. And that begins by reclaiming your sensitivity as your most sacred treasure. It begins by realizing that your emotions are not inconveniences, they are intelligence. They are data. They are messages from your soul and from the collective soul of humanity. You are a vessel, a channel, a mirror. But you cannot reflect truth back to others if you've abandoned your own. So let's get honest. When did you start shrinking? When did you begin hiding your light to make others more comfortable? When did you decide that your truth was too much for the world? Was it when you got laughed at as a child for crying too easily? Was it when you voiced your intuition and were told you were imagining things? Was it when you felt someone's pain and tried to help, only to be told to mind your own business? That moment, that one traumatic imprint, was enough to split your energy in two. The part of you that knows what you are, and the part of you that learned it wasn't safe to be that. Most of us learn to survive by disconnecting from our own truth. We learn to protect ourselves by pretending to be normal. But here's the thing, normal is killing our spirit. It's making us sick. It's making us small. You were not designed to be normal. You were designed to be legendary. You were designed to walk into a room and change the entire vibration without saying a word. But how can you do that if you've forgotten who you are? Your sensitivity is not just about feelings. It's about sight. You see and sense things most people can't. You know when someone is lying, even if their words sound perfect. You feel when someone is hurting, even if they're smiling. You absorb the energy of the world like a sponge, and if you don't know how to manage it, it will crush you. That's why so many empaths are exhausted. That's why so many of us feel lost, anxious, depressed, because we were never taught how to work with our gift. But that changes now. Let me tell you something that might change your entire life. Your nervous system is not broken. It's not weak. It's a divine technology. It's a spiritual antenna tuned to frequencies that most people have forgotten how to hear. But like any powerful tool, it needs care. It needs boundaries. It needs calibration. You can't keep exposing yourself to toxic environments, draining people, and violent energies and expect to stay grounded. You must learn to protect your field like a temple. You must learn to say no without guilt. You must learn to disconnect, recharge, and reconnect to yourself before you give anything away. We've been conditioned to believe that love means sacrifice, that compassion means self-abandonment. But that's a lie. True compassion begins with self-awareness. You cannot pour from a cup that is leaking at the bottom. You cannot heal others by continuously harming yourself. And you certainly cannot be a light in the world if you keep dimming your own. So I ask you, what would your life look like if you stopped apologizing for your sensitivity and started treating it like the sacred jewel it is? Would you finally stop chasing validation from people who don't even understand your language? Would you walk away from relationships that drain you? Would you start creating the art, the healing, the truth that's been living inside you for years, begging to be expressed? You see, your sensitivity is not just about feeling deeply, it's about transforming deeply. You have the ability to take pain and alchemize it into wisdom. You have the ability to sit with grief and turn it into compassion. You have the ability to feel the suffering of the world and still choose to love. That is not weakness. That is mastery. That is evolution. That is soulful courage. But to embody that, you must stop hiding. You must stop shrinking. You must stop trying to be someone you're not just to make others comfortable. You are not here to be liked by everyone. You are here to be yourself, fully, fiercely, unapologetically. And the more you honor your truth, the more you give others permission to do the same. That is the ripple effect of awakened empaths. That is the real revolution. So I ask you, one more time, are you ready to stop betraying yourself? Are you ready to stop numbing your emotions just to survive another day? Are you ready to finally step into your full power as an empath, a chosen one, a soul with sacred sensitivity? Because your answer to that question, it doesn't just change your life, it changes everything. The sacred technology of empaths, how to transmute energy, not absorb it. There comes a point in every empath's journey when the question arises, is this mine? That feeling of heaviness in your chest, that sudden rush of sadness, that anxiety that seems to appear out of nowhere, these are not always your emotions. But because you feel them in your body, you assume they belong to you. And for years, maybe even decades, you've been walking through life carrying a weight that isn't yours. Absorbing the world like a sponge, soaking in everyone's pain, fear, and chaos until your own soul begins to drown. But what if I told you that you were never meant to absorb? What if you were designed to transmute? Being an empath is not just a passive experience of emotional overload. It is a sacred technology and alchemical system of spiritual intelligence that allows you to take in energy, process it through the prism of your heart, and release it in a new and transformed way. You are not a dumping ground. You are a sacred processor of energy. But here's the catch. If you don't know how to work with this technology, it will feel like you're being attacked from all directions. You'll mistake your gift for a curse. You'll think you're weak, when in reality, you've just never been shown how to wield your power. Imagine this: you walk into a room, and instantly you feel the energy shift. It's heavy. Unspoken tension lingers in the air. Most people don't even notice. They keep smiling, talking, pretending. But your body knows. Your heart starts to race. You feel drained within minutes. What's happening isn't just emotion, it's data. You are picking up on energy fields, on emotional frequencies that are invisible but very real. And your body is reacting. This is your sacred radar. But if you don't have boundaries, if you don't have rituals, then your system doesn't know what to do with all that energy. So it holds on to it. It stores it. And over time, your body becomes a container for pain that doesn't belong to you. But this is where everything changes. Because the moment you realize you are not here to hold energy, but to transform it, your entire life shifts. You are not a sponge, you are a living flame. And when fire meets anything impure, it doesn't absorb it. It transmutes it. That's your real power. But how do we activate that? How do we stop being victims of our sensitivity and become masters of it? It starts with awareness. Every time you feel an emotion, pause and ask yourself, is this mine? That question alone can break the spell. Because so often, we walk through life unconsciously picking up everything around us, internalizing it, and calling it our own. But when you stop and ask, when you challenge the emotion, you open the door to discernment. And discernment is the first step toward energetic sovereignty. Once you've identified that the emotion isn't yours, the next step is release. And release doesn't mean pushing it away. It means alchemizing it. You can do this through breath, through meditation, through movement, through sound. You can visualize the energy leaving your body as smoke, as light, as waves returning to the ocean. You can speak it, you can cry it, you can dance it, but you must let it move, because energy that is not moved becomes stuck, and stuck energy becomes pain, physical pain, emotional pain, spiritual numbness. The gift of being an empath is that your body knows what needs to move. You just have to listen. Another key to mastering your energy is creating energetic boundaries, not walls, but filters. I think of it like spiritual skin. Just like your physical skin protects you from the outside world while still allowing in light and air, your energetic boundaries allow you to stay open, but discerning. One powerful tool is visualization. Before you leave your house, imagine yourself surrounded by a field of golden light. Not a barrier to keep people away, but a filter that only allows in what serves you. You can even set the intention, I allow in only love, truth and clarity. Everything else passes through me, not into me. The intention is powerful, because energy responds to consciousness, and your consciousness is the architect of your experience. But even more important than protection is purpose. You see, empaths are not just here to survive the world. We're here to change it. And our sensitivity is the compass that leads us to our mission. So many empaths are lost because they're disconnected from their purpose. But when you begin to channel your energy into something meaningful, art, healing, writing, service, expression, you stop absorbing the world's pain and you begin transforming it. You become a conduit for divine energy. You become a lighthouse in a storm. And nothing can dim your light when it is connected to truth. And let's not forget the most sacred part of this journey, your connection to the unseen. Empaths are naturally intuitive, psychic, clairvoyant. You've probably had moments where you just knew something, even if you couldn't explain how. That's not imagination. That's your spiritual sight. The more you honor your sensitivity, the more these gifts will awaken. You'll begin to receive downloads. You'll be guided by dreams. You'll feel connected to ancestors, to guides, to the pulse of the universe itself. And suddenly, everything that once felt like a burden will reveal itself as a blessing. So I ask you now, with full presence and love, what would your life look like if you trusted your sensitivity as your inner compass, instead of treating it like a flaw to be fixed? What kind of power would you unlock? What kind of world would you help build? Because the truth is, the world doesn't need more people who are numb. It needs you awake, alive, and fully tuned in. You are not here to suffer. You are here to remember. You are not here to absorb the pain of the world. You are here to transmute it into love, into truth, into light. That is your gift. That is your legacy. That is your sacred technology. The empath awakening, why the world needs you now more than ever. There is a silent revolution happening beneath the surface of this chaotic world. It's not loud. It's not flashy. It doesn't scream for attention. But it's deep. It's ancient. It's real. And it's being led by souls like you, empaths, sensitives, intuitives, those who have felt like outsiders most of their lives. You've been quietly watching the world unravel, sensing the undercurrent of pain and confusion, wondering why it all feels so heavy. And here's the truth that may shake you to your core. The reason it feels heavy is because you were sent here to help carry it, but not in the way you think. Not by sacrificing yourself, not by absorbing everyone's suffering, but by awakening fully into who you are and radiating your frequency so powerfully that it becomes impossible for darkness to remain unseen. You may not realize it, but you are a lightworker in disguise, a healer hiding behind a smile, a spiritual warrior dressed in ordinary clothes. And the world doesn't just need your love, it needs your clarity. It needs your discernment, your ability to feel what is true when everything outside is screaming lies. We are living in a time when information is everywhere, but wisdom is rare. And while the world gets louder and faster, your sensitivity becomes more crucial than ever. You are an antenna for truth. You are tuned into the subtle vibrations that most people have trained themselves to ignore. And that makes you not just valuable, it makes you essential. But here's the thing, the world will not give you permission to be who you are. It will not reward you for your depth. It will not validate your feelings. In fact, it will often try to convince you that your gifts are problems, that your emotions are weaknesses, that your compassion is naive. And this is where your awakening must begin, because until you validate yourself, you will keep searching for external proof that you are allowed to be what you already are. You don't need anyone's permission to be powerful. You don't need anyone's approval to be sensitive. You don't need anyone to understand you in order for you to live fully in your truth. We are at a tipping point in human evolution. The systems are cracking. The illusions are dissolving. People are waking up, but they are afraid. And in that fear, they are seeking guidance not from those who have all the answers, but from those who can hold space for what's real. That's you. You are the space holder, the heart opener, the bridge between the seen and unseen. When people come to you, they feel safe, even if they don't know why. That's not a coincidence. That's your field. That's your gift. And the more you own it, the more you become an anchor in this world that's drifting in confusion. But to do that, you must rise above your old stories. You must stop identifying with the role of the wounded empath and step into the role of the awakened empath. The wounded empath feels everything but is consumed by it. The awakened empath feels everything and transforms it. The wounded empath doubts their worth. The awakened empath knows their presence is medicine. The wounded empath hides. The awakened empath stands tall not with ego, but with divine remembrance. You are not broken. You are built for this. So how do you rise? You rise by choosing yourself every single day. You rise by saying no to what drains you, even if it disappoints others. You rise by trusting your inner voice, even when it goes against logic. You rise by creating sacred space for your soul to breathe through solitude, through ritual, through nature, through silence. You rise by surrounding yourself with those who see you, not just tolerate you. You rise by expressing your truth, even when your voice shakes. You rise by allowing your emotions to be your compass, not your chains. And most importantly, you rise by remembering that you are not alone. There are millions of us rising quietly, reclaiming our power, reconnecting with our hearts in a world that's forgotten how to feel. When we come together heart to heart, soul to soul, we create ripples that can shift timelines. Your awakening is not just about you. It's about all of us. It's about the earth. It's about the future. And every time you choose truth over fear, presence over reaction, love over numbness, you are anchoring a new reality. So I leave you with this. If you fully embraced your empathic power today, what would change? What would you stop tolerating? What would you finally allow yourself to become? The world is not waiting for more noise. It's waiting for more depth. And you, dear empath, are the depth we've all been praying for. Becoming the master empath, how to lead without losing yourself. There is a turning point in every empath's life when the question is no longer, how do I protect myself? But rather, how do I lead with this gift without losing who I am? This is the final threshold, the moment when you stop surviving your sensitivity and begin mastering it. Not by becoming harder or colder, but by becoming wiser, cleaner, and more anchored than ever before. The truth is, you were never meant to hide in the shadows of your own heart. You were meant to stand in the center of your being, eyes open, heart open, energy centered, and lead not with force but with frequency. You've already done the hard work. You've felt the weight of emotions that weren't yours. You've broken through the illusion that sensitivity equals weakness. You've begun to realize that your ability to feel is actually your ability to see. And now, the invitation is to embody the truth, to walk into rooms and not be overpowered by the energy, but to set the energy, to speak with a voice that doesn't tremble from fear, but trembles with sacred fire, to be in your body so fully, so consciously, that nothing and no one can pull you out of yourself. The master empath is not someone who feels everything. The master empath is someone who chooses what to tune into. Just like a skilled radio operator, you begin to understand that you don't need to pick up every frequency. You don't need to merge with everyone's chaos. You don't need to lose yourself in every conversation, every room, every emotional storm. You develop the wisdom of discernment, the power of choice, the grace of stillness. And from that place you lead not by controlling others, but by inspiring ownership in them. Your presence becomes a mirror that helps others see themselves clearly, sometimes for the first time. But leading as an empath requires fierce devotion to your own center. You must become non-negotiable about your rituals, your rest, your internal clarity. You must honor your energy like a sacred flame. You must say no with love and mean it. You must build your life around your soul, not your wounds, not the expectations of others, not the demands of a world addicted to urgency. You become the master empath when you realize that your peace is your power, that your alignment is your leadership, that your joy is not selfish, it's strategic. And there will be moments when even with all your tools, all your boundaries, all your awareness, you will still feel deeply. You will still cry. You will still ache for a world that doesn't always know how to hold itself. But instead of collapsing, you will let those feelings move through you like waves. You will witness them, breathe with them, and then offer them back to the earth, transmuted. This is not detachment. This is mastery. To feel, to hold, to release, and to remain sovereign in your own being, that is the essence of the awakened empath who leads. You are not here to lead like the old paradigm taught us. You are not here to dominate, to fix, or to be the savior. You are here to embody truth, to walk in love, to show others what it looks like to live from the heart without collapsing under the weight of the world. That is leadership in its purest form. And the more you live that way, the more people will feel your energy before you ever say a word. You won't need to convince anyone of your worth. You are the message. You are the light. So ask yourself now, as you come to this edge, are you willing to lead with your light, even if others don't understand it? Are you willing to be fully, radically, unapologetically you in a world that often rewards masks over truth? Because if you are, then you are ready not just to survive this world as a sensitive soul, but to change it. Not by force, not by volume, but by frequency, by presence, by being the living, breathing embodiment of what it means to feel deeply and stand powerfully. You were never too sensitive. You were always meant to be this way. And now you remember why. You are not here to suffer. You are here to shine. Lead on, Empath. The world is watching, and more than that, it's awakening because of you.